commander or something for a thing, Balaram something,
No, no, I wasn't
was
charged with
the
him.
treason matter,
I
sir.
was not charged with him.
So,
No, which is
and you were
incorrect.
charged,
Mr.
you so love
My
Bonham
God.
now.
Yes.
You're the person who said you love Bonham now, and Bonham did. You know, Bonham had a
He never
vision.
said he loved
That's a good
Bonham.
thing, Mr.
Did I say
Green.
love
You
Bonham?
Oh,
would
my.
know
Oh,
who's
please
speaking
hold
here.
on. Please.
I was
Yes.
a candidate on the
Yeah. Yes.
PNC.
Yes.
92, and I'm big enough. I used to work in the legal system. That's how I know that you were charged, and B. Adams was the lawyer, along with Stanley Prasad, and I could name all the lawyers, Stanley Adial and all of them.
You're wrong.
Because I used to think,
Okay.
Mr. Rahman like
Yeah.
to this stuff. If you
Yeah.
want to be a politician, sir, you
Got
got to
get
be
your
like
skin.
Sam and Green.
Yeah.
Now when they're
Gotta
telling
got
lies.
skin.
Don't, please don't say anything,
Fact,
man.
you want facts,
Yeah.
and you always people
Yes.
before to see calling,
Yeah.
give him a name too, because you know what?
Okay.
Those are public record where you're charged
Yeah.
for overthrowing the Barnum government. Barnum had a vision. Down the line, everything that all of us saying here and what is happening, it's Barnum's vision.
Okay.
Barnum said we got to close the sugar industry. Let's diversify. You know, if we manage sheep and goat and so, when they had the foot and mouth disease
Yes.
and cow, we
Yeah,
would have got
that's what I
money.
know, yeah.
Barnum was a visionary. And when people like you now praising Barnum, you eating from both sides of the
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're two sideways.
Thank you very much.
Look, all them things. Why, if we're moving on,
Okay.
Jagger is past now.
Okay.
Let us look at this government and how to improve
Okay.
and how to move on.
Okay.
Right? Mr. Green,
Thank you very much.
you.
Mr. Green, what's some of your comedy?
Where change is
Yeah.
the most intrusive
Yeah.
feature
Yes.
of human existence.
Okay.
And a man is entitled to change his views
Yes. That's
based
right.
on extant
That's
circumstances.
right. That's right.
And it is not wrong for a man after 2 months, 2 years, 20 years
Okay.
to review extant conditions
Oh.
and say, this is where I stand.
Yes.
Some people criticize Bonham for political
Yes.
and ethnic reasons.
Okay.
They have now, even within the PNC,
Okay.
people have now come to understand with the effluxion of time,
Yeah.
the end of the Cold War, that Bonner was our greatest visionary. His problem was he was a little impatient. He didn't have time for ordinary people to catch up
Okay.
with his philosophical
Yeah.
ideas and his vision for this country. And that is a human weakness.
Okay.
He didn't have the patience for ordinary people like us to catch up with his ideas.
Yeah.
When you talk about FCNH, that was revolutionary. When you talk about free education from kindergarten to university, that was revolutionary.
Yeah.
When he talked about the non-aligned movement, that was revolutionary. When he talked about supporting a system which allowed people like Zambia, India, and others
Yeah.
to make optimum use of the natural resources,
Yes.
he earned the ira
Okay.
of the big countries.
Okay.
And this is, even today,
Okay.
we're still here. You know?
Colony. Hello.
Hi, Mr. Sharmo.
Yeah. Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You know,
Yes.
Mr. Dugo,
Yeah.
Hamilton Green, the veteran.
Yes.
In my 70s.
Yes. I'm a 72.
In my 70s.
Yes.
I'm very concerned the
Yeah.
way we're going. I've moved around a little. I live somewhat in Brazil, in the region. What I do see here in a country is one of the most beautiful small country in the world,
Okay.
blessed with natural resources, good
Yeah.
people.
Yes.
What I do see is moral and spirituality to uplift Guyana. Everybody speaks on the material side, but we don't speak on the moral and spiritual side. It will hurt us. It will hurt us tremendously. Because when these certain opportunities pass and we're not able to hold on to it, to bring deliverance or upliftment to our people, you can't have a great society without a position of honest reconciliation. In the American society, the Confederates and the Yankees fought against one another. There's hardly no one, except in some cases, the Americans, even the blacks who are bought their slaves, have
Okay.
strength now in America.
Okay.
We cannot have this wealth, and then what is seeming to happen is that the rich is getting richer,
And the poor getting
who's
poorer.
getting poorer,
Yes.
the mafia is coming in,
Yeah.
people from all over without empowering the people.
Okay.
We have two nations in Guyana. One, here in Guyana, 750,000. We have 750,000 people in
Yeah.
the diaspora. How is it that we cannot find people to do our job? Why is it we going around all over the place in one great confusion rather than empowering our people? We have, according to the junior minister of finance, we have $100 billion coming next 20 years. No program, no plan. I am one the victim in a program here.
Okay.
That is, if you I'm in the scrap metal business.
Yes.
What is perfect? We in three years it took to open the trade, then 3 months. Then there's no red flag, but you're continuing to hurt people.
Okay.
This is very bad.
Okay.
If I was in power, there's absolutely no way we would have a prolonged strike of the nurses. Next, last but not least, if we don't have a strong leader shortly, what happened I'm from the quarantine, I plant rice with my hands, I cut rice with grass knife, I fetch rice bag, I run cows around, mashing paddy. I know something of rice. People work very hard in the rice industry. I went to school,
That's true.
I walk among bundry pimple, alligator, rattlesnakes, and survive. The point is that if you don't have a strong leader, what is happening at GRDB is a disgrace. That man should be sent home and locked up. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Mr. Green, what is your comment?
Well,
What the gentleman is saying?
he's right. In
Yeah,
1991,
yes.
I don't know whether he's mirroring my words.
Okay.
I call for moral and a spiritual
Yeah,
revival
okay, yeah.
as the anchor for the
Okay,
future of our country.
yes.
The problem we have is that we've had that morality severely fractured
Yeah.
for 20 odd years.
Yeah.
And like the human body, like medicine, you can't repair it in a couple of months.
Okay.
Secondly, he talks about the things that he visioned.
Okay.
I've said that this country is poised for great things,
Okay.
but we need two things: patience and a new cadre
Yeah.
of people who are honest and are outside of the pale of corruption and can be corrupted. The problem we have, I'm repeating myself, in the system at several levels,
Yeah.
you still have those who are immersed in corruption,
Yeah.
who believe that's the way to get
Okay.
things done. The policeman who stops you and the high car driver who puts his license with a green bill inside,
Yeah.
they treat us part
Granger said, Granger. Yeah, yes.
they treat us part of the new
Yeah.
culture.
Okay.
You know, and
Yeah.
it's so sad.
Absolutely.
People no longer do things because they believe in it.
Yeah.
And there's a new generation emerging
Okay.
that I think will, but it's going to take time.
But there are
I want to ask
solutions.
one question. Who's really perfect? Who is perfect in its country? Perfect. Who is the perfect man in its country?
Who's it?
Who's perfect?
Who's perfect?
Perfect.
Well, no man
Anybody
is
perfect?
No man is perfect.
Okay.
Muhammad, the Hindu belief,
Okay.
the Christian
Yeah.
belief, even those who produced the prophets
Yeah.
knew that their own imperfection began because they
Okay.
came on earth
Okay.
as human beings.
Color the hello?
Nobody is perfect, Mr. Chamor, because the boy is language in the lockup, and he didn't do that. You have a medical, you have a medical, it's a lie.
We'll deal with the problem next time. Next time we'll deal with the problem. We can't deal with it now.
She
It's a
should,
lie. It's
Yeah,
a lie.
yeah, yeah.
Madam,
Yeah.
I suggest you give the information to Mr. Sharma.
Yes.
And we look at it.
Yeah, they look at it,
Or
yes,
there's a police complaint.
That's right. Authority.
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 We
yeah.
told her that already.
Color, you on here. Hello?
Hi, Mr. Strong.
Yes. Good afternoon.
I've been looking at the program a very long time.
Yeah, yes.
I'm here, Mr. Green, talking about corruption, and I'm on,
Yeah, yes.
I don't know where you're going to find this honest and people who are not corrupt in Guyana.
Okay.
You know, when the government came in, they're trying to put in systems, but then they have the same players in place. So how would they find honesty and persons who are not corrupt?
Yeah.
I can give you an example. The ministry I used to work at,
Yeah.
we have a permanent secretary.
Yeah, yes.
She does know to add and subtract.
Okay.
When it comes to pad up documents, so smart, but she's very good at that. Then you have the personnel officer. When you go to him, he verbally abuses you, he winds up and down and ignore you. Then when you go to the director now, they're all in one ministry. You go to the director, when you do here, he wants to hospital the whole ministry.
What?
All the women he want to have a relationship
What?
with. And
Yes,
then the
sir.
next thing you know, they find him having sex on a table with the staff.
Oh, Lord.
So
It's
could you
bad,
have
man.
one ministry having all of this?
Okay, okay.
I retire and
Yeah.
the permanent secretary is withholding my
Oh.
pension by not giving me the statement.
Okay.
And it's over a year and
Yeah.
she's doing it with collusion of other persons.
Okay,
The
okay.
minister is not handling it. You tell me where you're going to find the honest
Okay.
corruption. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
A very serious charge, sir.
No, you see.
Let her send information.
Yeah, send information give out to us.
We'll investigate.
Call in here. Hello? Hello?
Hello, good afternoon, Mr.
Good
Palmer.
afternoon, yes. Good
And the
afternoon.
panel.
Yeah,
Yes.
good afternoon. Well, my friend.
Yesterday, GCOM had a press conference,
Yes.
and there were some, damning statements made by the chairman.
Okay.
He said attempts are being made to, derail local government election.
Okay.
And he's speaking in terms of racial divide.
Okay.
And he's not speaking on one side, he's speaking on both sides.
Okay.
And he's even contemplating that he would give up, he would resign if this thing continues.
Okay.
Right? Another important thing coming
Yes.
out from the commission yesterday,
Yes.
574,000 people are eligible to vote at local government
Okay.
election this year. What a surprise. We never had that for national election.
That's true, yeah.
We have 574
Mr. Green, you answer that, please.
out of
Yeah.
750,000,
Yeah.
but it's less than that now.
Okay.
That is one of the things needs to be questioned.
Okay.
People are talking rigging and that kind of thing. I can't see how all of a sudden we have 174,000
Okay.
people
Thank you very much.
eligible to
Thank you
vote.
very much. Mr.
Now,
Green?
concerning
Yeah.
the city council,
Yeah.
Mr. Green, I was normally calling, I speak to you concerning corruption
Yes.
at the city hall. But you say that an inquiry is going on and you did that to comment. I could recall when was the commissioner assassination of the president and the inquiry was going on. You were hearing your views according to the evidence which was presented. Now you staying quiet. Now let me give you this. The city council for 2015, 16 and 17 has not provided audit statements, right, to the Attorney General. They're claiming that documents were damaged. When you find a company saying that documents are damaged, it shows fraudulent activities is being carried out, right? And the commission is saying that people are giving evidence,
Okay.
right? Mr. Green had a woman by the name of Bikunya, worked 24 years, and you should know her, at the city council. She's saying that the council under Ms. Sober were running better than under Mr. Rice and King. And she said that the council garnered enough money to run this city.
Okay.
Mr. Green, you always say that the PPP was stifling the city council. The evidence that is coming out now shows that you could be right, because when they give the money to the city council, there is no accountability.
Yeah.
And this government, right, was very surprised that it gives city council millions, hundreds of millions,
Yeah.
under the stewardship of the mayor,
Okay.
the PNC executive,
Okay.
right? And to turn back and see that the money is being squandered
Okay.
is unbelievable.
Thank you
The
very much.
Green always say that the government to look bad.
Yeah.
The city council under the mayor's stewardship is making this government look bad. Thank you.
What is GCOM story now? GCOM. They got so many people.
I haven't seen a report.
Yeah.
The number sounds high to me.
Yes.
But
Very high.
a lot has to do with what really is our population.
400 or something.
We don't know because the last census, I think, about 4 years ago.
Yes.
And just to make a comparison
Yes.
between
Yes.
the voting population
Yes.
and the whole population, there's also a nexus and
Okay.
a comparison. It sounds a little high to me, but I haven't seen the report.
Okay.
Nor have I studied it.
What the report?
The report is not published. It's, parts of it are being
Okay.
published. But the issue is about the chairman is quite upset about what is going on
Yeah.
among all the political parties. You remember that Mr. Jagdev pulled out of Wakanam. He was talking about the corruption in the electoral process.
Let me take some more cards.
But they pulled out of Wakanam.
There's also confusion
Yeah.
that when registration time comes,
Yes.
very often they make a record from 14 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
14 years, that's
They
right.
extract
Yes.
Yeah, that's the
for
ID.
voting
For
purposes.
the,
So I don't know those figures represent. I don't know.
The ID.
Call your name. Hello? Hello? Yes?
Hello?
Yes? Your name, please?
I have one question from Mr. Berger.
Yes.
I want to know when Mr. Berger will pay back GNCB his money that the company took.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Company bought
GNCV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good he asked that question because it was earlier said about the Agriculture Bank, which was closed. The Agriculture Bank was closed
Because
under the PPP government because it was bankrupt. And indeed, there is an issue with that. I want to, all those loans they gave between 92 and when it was closed down were all under a PPP board of directors. It went to an extent that they start to book money on companies because at that time they had basically shut down Alacy and they start to book all kind of monies they stole. And I'm confident that's why I'm saying it there.
Okay.
And when they saw that it will all burst now, they quickly sell the bank and close it down. So it's not that the Agriculture Bank was not a good bank, but it's under the PPP regime with a full PPP board of directors. I have been in that bank and see this guy drinking Blue Label whiskey on the boardroom of the bank and asking me that if you come good, we can fix things, you know. That's how it was going. You understand? They bankrupt the bank and quickly sell it so they could put away those things. And what he's saying is, yes, we had an issue with them. We still have an issue.
Basically, they're during your time.
You understand?
Your time
But
with the bank.
that's what it is. You know what we did? We just said to hell with it. Let us see what they're going to do with it. Because I have a list of all the loans, which all the documents disappear. And it's all PPP people.
Okay. During your time, you got the bank.
The bank was set to help the farmers.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a good bank.
And small people.
Okay. What the position of the bank now?
The concept was
Scrap?
good. I can't swear about the administration and the real reasons for it being scrapped.
Okay.
But it's just unfortunate.
Okay.
Mr. Dogo seemed to know more about it.
That's right.
I know a lot about it.
He's in the business, and I don't question his statement.
Colony, hello?
Hello, Mr. Sharma.
Yes.
There was a caller making some allegations against Mr. Jinnah.
Yes.
You didn't give him some time to reply.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Here, in fairness to him,
Yeah.
I would like you to give him some opportunity for him to reply about him.
Okay, thank you very much, right?
We must make it succinct and short.
Caller, you on the air? Hello? Hello?
Good afternoon to the panel.
Good afternoon, yes.
You know, when you listen to all what happened under the previous one and this one and what going on with all over this country, we'd be better off under the white.
Yeah.
That we do since 1952 to now. From 1960, for the 52 years that we got independence, I'm in Green there, for almost 50 years in the 52 years.
Yes.
And we still don't do nothing with this country.
Okay.
So we can safely say we own self-destroy the country. Today we going back to the same white people for tell we how to eat and drink.
Yes.
So what we take independence for waste of time?
Okay, thank you very much.
If not now, we talking about who do or who didn't do, and we still doing.
Yes.
You know?
Okay.
That's all we doing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Thank you very
much. Forward, when we take one step forward, we take three backward. Look where we still in. How we still rowing. The council can't give a council money and money and money and money. And you know, ain't nobody gets it.
Thank you very much.
I want to all the politician and get a little money.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Rama, time is very limited in this program. The program, the voice of the people is not your voice, people's voice.
Yes, yes.
Good, thank you very much.
I just said to
people
Mr.
are
Sharma, the people are asking me to explain because they know that
the program is the voice of the people.
Yes.
Just understand. But that's why I let you know that. Call you, hello?
Good afternoon, Mr.
Good afternoon, yes.
From next month, the 12th,
Yeah.
the AFC will know their moment of truth.
Yeah.
They will know their strength.
Yes.
And therefore, if they lose these elections,
Yes.
the hierarchy of the central government, especially Mr. Nagamoto, Mr. Kemraj Ramjatan, and Mr. Granger's son-in-law, they all should bow out gracefully. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
very good, very good, very good. Thank you for saying that.
Call you on here, hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
I just heard Mr. Douglas said that it's the PPP who run down the agriculture.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
They also run down Co-op Bank. Ask Mr. Gaskin and Mr. Nabada Prasad, who is the chairman and vice chairman of the bank, when the PP win and they took over, how much utility they had and why they shut it down.
Exactly.
They don't only run down that bank, they run down our bank.
Okay.
I want to make another point.
Yeah.
They stole all the money.
He just called. He's called steady.
Yes.
He was speaking about city council
Yes.
and sober said,
Yes.
and they had money, and somebody went and inquired. He heard her.
Yes.
He said that the council have
Okay.
no way the council could get money to run this country.
Okay.
To run this, let me tell you why. I live in Roxham Burnham Garden,
Yes.
and my taxes per year is $6,000 and something dollars.
Okay.
If you divide that by 12, by 52, it's working out to less than $100 a week. Could that do to pick up the rubbish bin every week?
Oh my. Yes. That's true.
In Camelville, people pay less than $12,000 a year fees. If you divide that by 52, you can get less than 200 or something dollars. No way that could pay to pick up your rubbish bin alone, much less clean the drains. So when people talk about city council, you got to do the math, you just can't talk wild.
Okay.
There is no way based on the revenue city council is charged that they could satisfy this city, which is extended for agriculture, and no way. There got to be magicians.
Well, thank you very much.
I would agree that Royston King knows nothing about management.
Okay.
Because no good manager would get about 20 projects and finish.
Okay.
You got the Kitty Market, you got the one, on the Merriman's Mall, most of the programs unfinished.
Okay.
He doesn't know about management.
Okay.
I think he should pay the penalty for what he did.
Okay. Thank you very
There's
much.
no way, based on what City Council earned, they could run this stuff. No way.
Okay. Mr. Green, this is your thing now.
He's right about that.
Yeah, yes.
Back in 1992, when the PP installed an interim management committee, the first statement made by the chairman, Dr. Rose, was that the taxes cannot provide services,
that's right,
and that we need other sources of revenue. And I remember I've said this a million times. When I proposed a lottery as that source, the PP government disallowed it. They said the churches would object. Within a few weeks, they had it offered and they got all the money. So he's right in a sense. I can't comment on the Royston King matter because there's a commission inquiry.
That's right. Yeah. Mr. Rahama, you got to say now. Go ahead.
No,
Make it short.
Make it
short.
I think he's wrong.
Yeah.
Look, I don't mind anybody criticizing Mr. Shah, but they must get the facts right. I was charged for treason in 1980.
Yeah. Why you was charged?
By Mr.
Why was charged? Why you
by
was
Mr.
charged?
Hamilton Green's government.
Who?
Mr. Hamilton Green was Prime Minister at the time. He knows more about that.
Okay.
I was charged for treason because I was opposed to the PNC government. Okay? I didn't commit nothing wrong. I was simply opposed to the government organizing on the ground. I was not a member of the PPP at the time. I had left the PPP because I felt that Jagan's critical support to the PNC government was a halfway house situation. That was why Vincent Tika left, Chandi Singh left, Halim Majid left. These were key people. And so the country was in a state of standstill. They left because there was a decision taken by the Communist and Workers' Party in Latin America to move the country towards socialism, and that Jagan must join the PPP in the PNC in a coalition government. Mr. Green needs to write his memoir. He's a publisher. I understand he's still writing it because he's key to this left-right situation where he was opposed to that situation. But he's here, so I'm not saying anything behind his back. He can answer it. But it is an essential debate that must be heard. And let me defend myself. The truth of the matter is I escaped because I knew that I was not, they surrounded my house in Georgetown. I knew that I was not involved in anything, and I knew that the people who they have arrested, they tortured them. Why
Walter
should
Rodney
I?
was killed then. Huh?
Walter Rodney was killed 2 weeks after we were charged for treason. Let the facts be said.
Yes.
I am writing about it. So
Yes.
these guys who are trying to misinform the
That's
public,
right,
and he
yes.
know and he been in the court
Okay,
and
okay.
talking nonsense.
Yes.
The fact of the matter is, there is not a shred of evidence up to now as we speak, since 1980, to implicate me. Everybody was dismissed. They was called 4 times and the case was dismissed. Not a shred of evidence to
So you didn't get
implicate
charged
me.
with treason?
I was charged for treason, Mr.
For
Chairman.
charge, yes.
You were not charged too, and your case was dismissed?
Yes, yes.
Good. A
I
man,
didn't charge
a
treason.
man,
I didn't charge
no,
treason.
but whatever a
Yes,
man is
yes,
charged
yes.
for, he is supposed to be innocent until proven guilty.
Yes.
So that's the case.
Okay.
I have never been proven to be guilty. One last thing.
Yes.
I was never opposed to Mr. Burnham's policy. I want to put it on record. We as a family, the Rahman family, we were never opposed to the policies and pro-economic policies and program of Mr. Burnham.
Okay.
And so this guy has to have his facts right. The PPP were totally opposed to all the policies that Burnham put.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was a member of the PPP.
That's right.
I was a member of the PPP.
Member of the PPP.
I
Yes,
was.
I know.
I held important position in the
PPP.
front organization of the PPP.
Yeah.
I was active in the Rice Producers Association. My father was a founding member of that organization in 1946. That's my history.
Okay.
And I was General Secretary for the Guyana Cane Farmers Association. Let them get their facts right. Don't call and smear my character. I have a clean slate. I have been active in politics. I gave my time. I am retired, and I'm enjoying my life.
All right.
So don't
Call
make
it
my
a hell.
time to
Call
make
it
my
a
life
hell.
miserable.
Mr. Sharma,
Yes.
tonight I'm taking my wife to the circus.
Yes.
And I would want to see Mr. Rahman and Mr.
To perform for your wife.
Okay.
Because they should go.
Okay.
To
Call it
perform,
a hell.
to perform for your wife, yes.
Mr. Sharma, just a quick one. In connection with that Carl who
Yeah.
said that the city council
Yes.
don't have enough
Yes.
money because of
Yes.
rates and
Yes.
taxes and all of that.
Yes.
Right? And he, at the end, he contradicted himself. He said that management is the problem, right? From King starting a whole set of project and then he can't finish it. That is because he's not, confining to managing the money. This government has realized that they pump hundreds of millions into the city council and they're not seeing the returns.
Okay.
And they decided to hold that inquiry because it shows that they could be on their own, they could be autonomous, and they could be using their own. You got to realize a lot of new things have been introduced by the city council where they garner income, container tax, and a whole other issues. But people must not, let this council get away with more
Thank you
than
very much.
saying
Thank you very much.
they ain't got enough money. They have enough money. The government has realized that. That is why they call this inquiry. And you're going to see a lot of things going to come out where certain monies went.
Let me hear from the inquiry. 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 What are you inquiry waiting for? What inquiry?
All I'm saying, persons like the caller need to present the evidence.
Evidence, that's right.
That's why I have a commission of
Yeah,
inquiry,
yeah.
so that the commission will make a determination whether it's right or wrong. And this is not a forum to make a judgment.
That's right. That's true. That's true. That's true.
And I believe in principles.
Call you in the hello. Hello.
Hello. Good day, Mr. Sharma.
Good day. Good day. Yes.
Yeah, the caller was just called back there. He just talking all the time. He ain't working maths. Why he didn't break it down to maths to you? But any case, that make me call this panel. First time I ever call this panel in my own life.
Yes.
I call it concerning the 5,000 US a year. And the people saying that the money there will make the country flop. There is not oil alone bringing resources. There is many, many things bringing resources. And if you say you want to help poor people, $5,000 a year is $83,000 a month. That money, the people can still eat it out. Because some people bills is $50,000 rent alone. They got children going to school.
Yes.
So, you
got a point, yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Take care and you have a blessed day.
Yes.
I watch this panel every day for about 20 years.
Okay.
And first time I ever call you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Why you decide to call? Why you decide to call?
Huh?
Why you decide to call?
I decided to call because people calling and saying, but this ain't good and that ain't good and that ain't good. But the country running nice, everything good.
Okay.
Man just be in power for a couple, 3 years.
Yes.
And I know he try and can do everything one time.
That's true. That's true what you're saying.
Yes, and it's almost years this country there and he never wrong with. Poor people never get money in nobody time.
Okay.